What's up, y'all? Omar Joe in my motherfucking building. Just want to show you where I come from. Originally, you know what I'm saying? We're on Lynch Street in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I'm from Milton Street, so that's where we're about to go. You know what I mean? Because I want to see. I'm going to show y'all how this neighborhood changed. I'm going to just show you the gentrification, you know what I'm saying? Because this shit is crazy. Look at all this. It's all for the Hasidic people. All this shit. I can't be too mad because the one thing Hasidic people do that we don't share with each other, you know what I'm saying? Now the truth is they have too many kids, man. They have like usually 12 to 16 kids, and I remember one Hasidic man told my stepfather that it was for legacy. I think it has something to do with the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like having too many kids on purpose is overpopulation, you know what I'm saying? I'm against any religion that espouse to that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody should have that many kids. I mean, that's just crazy. And that's why you have to buy everything out, because of all the kids that they have, you know what I'm saying? They gotta make room, gotta make space. So some of the older buildings are still there, but as you can see, it's like half of them are Hasidic buildings and they're a little bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, but some of the people are not moving out. They're gonna stay. I think where you see the smaller light building, I think has been sold, because I see it's like covered. I hope not, but I think it is. Look at that monster they built at the end, man. That's like I guess that's like another synagogue or something. Yeah. That corner still looks the same. A lot of these are like, I would consider them like Jewish settlements, you know what I'm saying? The same ones that you see in the Palestinian territories. That's basically what's going on here in Williamsburg, because they always have to make space, you know what I'm saying? They want to move everybody out to make space for their own. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, these are actually nice. These are actually houses, but it's for the Hasidic people mostly. I like this block. But what you see them doing in the Palestinian territory, that's basically what's going on here in Williamsburg. And in Bed-Stuy, they're basically just buying our property and just convincing other people to move out and basically bribing them, you know what I'm saying? Bribing them with money. Like, it's not even a lot of money either. It's like $10,000 to $20,000. That shit is nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And I'm not anti-Semitic, and I'm not against the little kids. I'm just saying that a lot of them tend to have too many kids, you know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. And that's overpopulation of the city, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to show you that what you see in the Palestinian territories is the same thing that's going on here. And as a matter of fact, the bulldozers they use is the same company that they use in Israel. Caterpillars, you know what I'm saying? I think a female protester was killed protesting against one of the bulldozings that they were going to do in the Palestinian territory. So, you know, not that I support Hamas, I don't support terrorism, I don't support none of that, but I'm just showing you, you know what I'm saying, like, it's not justified, you know, like how everybody was forced to move out. So this neighborhood actually, okay, if I remember, these were all private. In this block and in that block, it was all private buildings, like 3-story buildings. A lot of my grandmother's friends used to live around here, and one of my mother's cousins lived right in this block here before they tore it down. They tore all of the buildings down. So if y'all familiar with Williamsburg or just North Brooklyn in general, Greenpoint, Bushwick, you know there used to be like a lot of private houses or family houses, 3-story square buildings. So they tore all of it down. So, and then coming off on this block, this used to be like a giant crayon factory actually. So this is like a big factory, right? And I'm trying to make sure my memory is good. Actually, nah. The block over there, closer to the train, that used to be the private buildings, the ones I was showing you in the beginning. So over here, actually, on this corner, right there, was a used cars dealership or a car dealership, and over here was like a Wonder Bread factory. This used to be a Wonder Bread factory, and then on this block was the big crayon factory. They used to throw crayons on the sidewalk, and I used to pick them up. And so this is the crayon factory, and then there was another factory that they finally tore down not too long ago. And on that corner was more of the smaller buildings. On this block, after the crayon factory, at the end of this block, there used to be I think there used to be an abandoned car lot where they used to put cars away, but cars that were still in good condition. And they would pull them on there used to be a yard that they would pull them in, and the yard was at the end of this block. So, but as you can see, this wasn't like this like 20 years ago. Not even. This shit started with Giuliani was mayor, and he was giving mad money to the Hasidic community. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can see they brought the trees back. They took the trees down when this was all Puerto Rican. So not everybody that lived on this street was Puerto Rican. I think there was an Ecuadorian family, and before I was born, of course, there was an African American family. Because, you know, East Williamsburg, there's a lot of African Americans that live here too. It was a black and brown neighborhood back in the day, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this block here was the Wonder Bread factory, the car dealership, the Wonder Bread factory, and then a smaller factory here. Then over here was the giant crayon factory, and then the yard where this last building is right here. You know what I'm saying? This used to be a yard where they kept all the abandoned cars that were still in good condition. This whole section right here. And then there was more private buildings here. Most of my family, especially all of my grandfather's family, they used to live up and down this whole street. So this whole street was pretty much Puerto Rican. And the reason why my grandparents were able to buy one of these, even though they wasn't making a lot of money, because it was cheap. They made these older buildings with like you could buy them for like cheap, not even a lot of money. And my grandparents were good with saving money. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they was able to buy them. And my grandmother used to work, before she moved to Williamsburg, she used to work in the knitting factory right across from the Marcy Projects, and then she moved to the other one near the BQE. So when she moved here, she already knew half of the people here, because a lot of the Puerto Rican ladies, they used to work in the knitting factory. I might show you that in a little while. I'm going to show you that. So that's how they were able to move here. And then, of course, my grandfather told most of his family, and then they all moved up and down here. This is PS 380. I was gonna go to the school, but then after my mother got married again, my grandmother wanted me to go with my mom to the other side of Brooklyn, so I never got a chance to start school here, you know. But I remember going in here with my mom's just to check it out after she got married, like the second time. You know, so over here, so across the street there was the used, where they had the abandoned cars, right? So let me show you this corner right here, because this corner is empty now. But as you can see, that building is still there. I don't know that. Yeah, it's still there. It's Jewish, but it's still there. took, yeah. Buildings are still there. They just fixed them up a little bit. This is actually my favorite block. Whenever it got real high, I used to hang out in this corner. But this over here was the corner store. It was like a 4-story building with the grocery in the bottom. And it's a grocery store in the bottom, and then upstairs, my grandfather's sister used to live on the last floor of this building. It was already old, so that shit was tilting. So every time a truck would pass by, the building would start shaking. You know what I'm saying? So they finally took it down. And right before they took it down, the Hasidic people moved in. But they had to move them out because the building was already tilting. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this building used to be right here. Grocery store, and then my grandfather's sister used to live upstairs. So then, right around here, used to be a small Puerto Rican church. It was like a Puerto Rican version of an African American church where everybody's screaming and singing and yelling and jumping up and down. But it was real small. But I remember passing by a few times, and I used to get scared because everybody was like, you know, it was yelling and shit. Because, you know, half of our culture is African anyway, so it was like a Puerto Rican version of I guess, gospel church, African American churches, but not the ones that they knock on people's doors and nothing like that, but just the ones that they're singing and they're yelling and they're praising. And then the rest of this yard, Hasidic people own this yard, and they used to keep private buses. So me being growing up taking buses and trains, or every bus that they had looked different than the other one. You know, me being the kid, I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to draw, paint, all that, so I used to stare at these buses, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would have them out in the street when they would wash them, and the garage was right there at the end of the yard. It used to be like a garage, and that's where they clean the buses. And they keep all the private buses over here. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been a long time now, you know what I'm saying? Whenever, I think late 2019, early 2020, I was passed through here. I feel like crying, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of good memories here. I moved back here in 87 when my grandmother got sick right before she died. So, yeah, a lot of memories, man. So, especially in 1987, I was like, even though my grandmother passed, that was like the year that I got to spend time with her, you know? That was the year I got to spend time with her before she passed. So over here, right, at the end of this big ass ugly building, Jewish settlement, was two the private buildings. They were already abandoned by the time I was 10 years old. And then, actually it was over here, actually. The garage was here, and then the first two buildings were right here. Then what we used to call the White House is this house right here. And they fixed it nice. The Spanish people that lived there now, they fixed it real nice. You know what I'm saying? It actually looks nicer than the other one. The other one was nice though. Brick wall. It was all white, but they did this nice. And then this is where we used to live, right here. 74 Milton Street. If I'm not mistaken, that's actually our door. That's the actual door. They took it, they kept it, and when they built a new building, they turned it down and built this, you know, everything. They kept the door. And my mother's best friend's family lived in this side, in this one. So they tore that down too. And then these buildings are still there. They're still here. They haven't changed. They painted this nice actually. Wow, it's a good color. This is the color that I always had on the porch. It was the same color, orange. My grandmother used to keep like a small garden in the front, a cement garden on the wall like that. But she had potted plants too. But this, and then at the end This was like some kind of shop, auto shop. But let me cross the street though. So yeah, it's the school that I was supposed to go to. They took away the cement seating. I don't know why. Cause I used to love coming here when I moved back to Williamsburg. I used to sit right here on a Sunday afternoon. If I didn't have any plans, I would just sit right there for a little bit. I don't know why they took it away. Straight down there is the parking lot. That used to be a playground, but now they have an open playground there. But where the parking lot is, all the way at the end there, where the red house is, that used to be a playground. But there's something I want to talk about too. So in 1993, like I said, and when I was 10 years old, the first two buildings over there, it was already empty, right? So a Hasidic person, of course, landowner, had bought the property. I guess he didn't want to fix it up or keep it the way it was because it was, I guess, a problem for him or an annoyance. So he paid a drug addict to try to burn this whole block down. This was in 1993. I tried looking for the archives on the internet. There's nothing. It was like nobody reported it. This was when David Dinkins was mayor. David Dinkins was in his last year as mayor, and he was the first African American mayor of New York City, and he was already having problems with the next election because Rudy Giuliani was like basically basically harassing and trying to start riots and shit. You know, Rudy Giuliani was an antagonist and he was trying to make it a race issue. So David Dinkins was kind of like distracted, and they did arrest. Though this is why you have to give credit to David Dinkins. He did arrest the drug addict. The police arrested him, and he admitted that he was paid by a Hasidic person to try to burn this whole block down. Not the last building, because the last building was in touch. Actually, they fixed this one nice. The back part of the building is how it used to be, and I guess they added the front. I don't know if I like that though. I don't like that. But they couldn't find a Hasidic person though. So there was an investigation to find a Hasidic man. They believed that he fled to Israel. And unfortunately, my grandfather already had dementia when I was like 9 or 10. Like right after my grandmother passed away, my grandfather already had like a dementia. He couldn't remember who I was, nothing like that. So, I mean, he kind of remembered me, but not really. And he spent that year and the year before in the hospital. He was in and out of the hospital. Then 92, 93, he was in the hospital. So while he's in the hospital, and this is what that's what messed me up inside at that time, because this is when I was 14 at the time, and I was kind of messed up by it because my grandfather had no idea what was going on, and if he would be 100% healthy, it would probably hit him. Because I know my grandmother died, even though my grandparents used to argue. Obviously, my grandfather was more laid back and more sympathetic, and he loved my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? And he cried when she died. He held it in, but he cried a little bit in the bathroom. So he was already gone mentally, like he didn't even know what was going on. But his best friend who lived in, I'm trying to remember which building, I believe it was the first white building. They fixed these buildings up a little bit, so they don't look exactly like this. Most of the buildings used to look like the gray building, you know what I'm saying? Most of the buildings looked like that. My building looked exactly like this. The blue building, I believe, was already like that. So on the first white building, the family, It was a family, obviously, that lived there. My mother went to school with the woman that lived there, who was the same age as my mother. And her father was friends with my grandfather. They were best friends. They became best friends. They used to talk to each other all the time. And he went in to save his dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fire had already spread the whole block. And he went in to save his dog, and he never came out. And so he died, and she was sad. And his family, I think, stayed one more year, and then he moved. The family that lived here, who my mother also grew up with, the last building there, they were already planning to move out. But after this, my grandfather's best friend died in this fire. They decided to move out. I guess it was too much for them. And about 2 years later, my uncle sold their house to these people who then tore it down and built that ugly piece of shit in the middle. You know what I'm saying? For real. And it's sad because my grandfather just didn't, he had dementia. He just didn't know. And it was sad. I mean, it messed me up inside, you know what I'm saying? Like, I already lost my grandmother, and just seeing the basement was kind of smoked out, but luckily most of the buildings are still intact. The first two buildings they were completely destroyed because they were already abandoned. So yeah, that's what happened in 1993. And then when Giuliani became mayor, he didn't do shit, nothing. And there were more arson fires in this neighborhood, and a lot of them most of them were all Hasidic people. They were trying to burn down buildings around here. And I'm not giving props to Bloomberg too much because he's a fucking greedy fuck. But at least when Bloomberg became mayor, there were Hasidic landowners here and there that had gotten arrested for burning down buildings. So under Bloomberg, they arrested a Hasidic man and his son, one of his sons, for trying to burn down their own supermarket so that way they can collect insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. And then even up to 2001 or 2002, there was another rash of arson fires all over this area. And I believe in that rash of fires, there was a homeless man that was killed. Before that, in 2000, there was I'm gonna get to that building, but there was a whole Mexican family that had gotten killed on another arson fire. They went looking for the guy that set that fire off, and he fled to Israel also from what I heard. You know what I'm saying? So this is all what I'm hearing. But yeah, a whole family was killed on the other block we moved into later. But I'm gonna show you that block in a little while. But yeah, this is the school that I was supposed to go to. You know what I'm saying? So, it hits home every time I pass through here. It hits home. And that ugly thing looks like a hospital. That thing should not. And I always thought that there was some kind of law of building a building that's bigger than the other buildings in the block. But I guess, Bloomberg didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, this building was built when Bloomberg was mayor. And I think it actually started to be built when Giuliani was mayor. Obviously, Giuliani doesn't give a fuck about black and brown people. So, this is the school I was going to go into. Same thing over there. There used to be like a lot of private buildings, but they took them down. Just that last one is still there. You know what I'm saying? And actually, let me show you. I'm zigzagging. So I can't go in front of that building, but from where our building used to be, that's where the Twin Towers used to be. From here, you could see them, but from there, you could definitely see it clearer. That's where the Twin Towers used to be before they came down. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm zigzagging. Actually, I should have stayed on that side, but. And that block on the other side still looks pretty much the same, which is actually a good thing. And it's still, some of the Hasidic people, they bought it, but they haven't changed it physically. See, I have no problems with Hasidic people coming in and just keeping everything the same and moving in, because that's what Puerto Rican people were doing. Like my grandparents, they wasn't trying to like buy property and build something bigger. They just wanted to move in somewhere to live. So I'm not mad at them for this. So luckily, so this block still looks the same. This is Lynch Street. Where we used to live is Milton Street. By the way, if you're from Brooklyn, I want you to share this. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's a lot of people in Brooklyn that know this area, who probably used to live in this area. So that's Lynch Street right there. And that's where the playground used to be. It used to go all the way down. And I was so little, I used to try to climb. I used to be scared. Then little by little, I wasn't scared. Like when I was 8 years old, I wasn't scared no more. But actually, this makes sense because teachers do need a parking space, especially when the Hasidic people started moving in, and they all have cars. So there was no more space on the street for the teachers. So I can see why they did this. So this is not a bad idea, actually. But I don't understand why they took away the cement seats, cement benches over here. I don't know why. That shit don't make sense to me, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm still pissed about that. But yeah, this is the school PS 380. You know? All that changed on the other side. So we about to go into Lee Avenue. And all that shit changed, you know what I'm saying? The Marcy Projects is right up the block, so you get to see the Marcy Projects. The home of Jay-Z, Source Money, and of course Jazzo. He was the first one to come out. So I'm across again. Somebody left the fucking thing there, I don't know why. I got no hat today because I want to hit. The sun is out. I don't want the sun. I like the sun hitting me. You know what I mean? Get that vitamin D. So that building's still there. Everything else is gone. And once you get to this intersection, or almost everything is gone. Closer you get to the Marcy Projects, but there's also a different kind of gentrification going on the other side of Marcy. Basically like condominiums and shit. So these are all Jewish settlements or Jewish divisions, whatever you want to call them. I guess the real word is Jewish divisions, you know what I'm saying? But I think settlements makes it, you know what I'm saying? It makes it more clearer to what I'm trying to explain to everybody. These buildings are Jewish settlements or Jewish divisions. These are not for anybody else except for Hasidic people. That should be against the law. Why it's not against the law, I'm not sure. Giuliani and Bloomberg didn't give a fuck. But de Blasio is supposed to be the progressive, and I didn't do anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, and to be fair, a lot of our own people didn't protest what was going on over there. You know what I'm saying? Or what's going on over here, actually. Go all this traffic. It's worse on Bedford Avenue, you know what I'm saying? Traffic is crazy. And a lot of it is because of the Hasidic people that are moving in, or Jewish settlements. You know? Health food center. Actually, I support this. So this building is still there. These buildings are still here. Yeah. So I just want to show you where I come from too, you know what I'm saying? So that was my old childhood neighborhood. And this is the other side of Williamsburg. borderline, Bed-Stuy, Clinton Hill, whatever you want to fucking call it. I still call it Williamsburg because it's less confusing, you know? Yeah, this part of Flushing is still industrial, so that's just good. I like the graffiti. I don't do graffiti, but I love seeing graffiti. These are all settlements. These are all Jewish settlements, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to be anti-Semitic. This is what it is. And also, housing projects, they do have Hasidic people inside them. So just to prove to you that I'm not anti-Semitic or this is an anti-Semitic video. You know what I'm saying? But not over here. It's the Marcy projects right here. It's Marcy all day. See, this block hasn't changed. I'm gonna come back around because I want to show y'all where Jay-Z shot his first video. I mean his first solo video, you know what I'm saying? And Jazzo's first video also, or second video actually. But see over there is where all the factories are. So all these factories and this factory, I guess that I'm surprised I didn't know this factory was covered up. I don't know if they're gonna take it down or not. But that factory right there, that's where my grandmother used to work. She used to make clothes like and purses and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? That's where all the Puerto Rican women used to work back in the day. The 50s, 60s, 70s. They had all the Puerto Rican women barely making any money, making all the stuff that they used to sell on the street. Around here, downtown Brooklyn and down in Delancey Street. But they wasn't making a lot of money though. I don't know what they're doing here. This used to be a grassy area for a long time. I think they should turn this into a garden. I don't know why they want to build anything here. This should be a garden, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got enough tall buildings already, man. We don't need more of this shit. See, then people complain about congestion, you know. Then they just need to block this shit, you know what I'm saying? Turn it into a garden, you know what I mean? That shit. Yeah, it's the Marcy projects. But we're gonna make a turn apart. I want to show you the building where the Mexican family was killed when that arson fire happened. I believe in 2000 it happened. I could be wrong. I think my video only goes up to 50 minutes. So I'm gonna have to cut this in two maybe. But I'm hoping it doesn't. But I think one time it cut to 50 minutes. So I still got time though. Shout out to everybody on YouTube that likes my videos and likes the stuff I share. Yeah, Marcy Projects is basically like 2 blocks. Working the Marcy houses. Traffic gets a little crazy over here. See, what the fuck they doing over here? Just destroyed. That's the sidewalk, I guess. But I think they should just turn this into a garden, a community garden where you just grow fruits and vegetables. Got markets. I mean, the deeper in Brooklyn you go, the more you see that kind of shit. But I think what happened was all these developers I willing to throw in a lot of money to the mayor so they could build condos everywhere. Because this is the north side of Brooklyn. This is still the north side. You know what I'm saying? No Man's Land, one of the smaller streets. See, I miss these They could do a lot with these blocks. But I like blocks like that are kind of quiet, but, you know, developers don't give a shit. Hasidic landowners don't give a shit. So, like, tire shops, these are all owned by Hasidic people now. It's basically like the busiest part of the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? It's my hood. It's my hood. My hood. It's no longer my hood. Took it over. I'm across. It's my new phone. I don't know why my new phone gets hot too fast. Like this. This is another block I used to like walking through. But of course my building is straight down, my old building. We on Spencer Street. We on Park Avenue right now. It's the ghetto Park Avenue, like the other one in Manhattan. Well, not ghetto, well, yeah, kind of ghetto. Goes to the Marcy Projects. One, two, three, four. 4 kids. It's another Omar Just production, video vlog production. So there's another building that's new, that's owned by Hasidic people. This used to be a gas station, believe it or not. They bought the gas station too. You know what I mean? No more gas station over here. We in Bedford Avenue now. Park Avenue in Bedford. I think they took away the bus stop there. They're taking everything, changing everything. But they know how to save money. That's why they have the power to change anything. We don't have that kind of wealth built up. Of course, we don't got no programs that give us that kind of money. But I'm gonna look into it because I know I read some stuff as to why Hasidic people have the money to buy our property. So that building right there, that other ugly synagogue, there's 2 synagogues next to each other. Yeah, that's 2 synagogues right next to each other. That used to be where a small auto shop used to be, a long, small auto shop, and some tenement buildings down there, small private buildings. And my mother's cousin, my relative, one of my older relatives used to work there. Down the block, where there used to be tenement buildings, small private buildings there. And I remember one dude that we started rapping, started talking, and they were gonna kick him out. And he was working and everything, and they were gonna kick him out, and he told me they're gonna have to send a SWAT team to come get him, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. It's not supposed to rain today, but I'm beginning to see fucking clouds again like yesterday. Jeez. So those little buildings across the street are still there, so that's good. You know what I mean? See this building right here? coming up right here. This building right here is ours. We had our own porch and everything, you know what I'm saying? Look at this shit. Look at this. And that used to be the laundromat. We used to have our own porch right there. Yeah. Hurricane Sandy kind of fucked it up, you know what I'm saying? And the porch collapsed, and that's when the city people came and bought it. I think they bought it already or something like that. So they got almost this whole neighborhood. And this took some time. It's like since 2000, after 9/11, I say, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at this, all this shit, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Look at all this shit, except for those right there. I miss my block. I miss my block. See that? I miss my block. Look at this. Look at this. Fucking took everything. You know what I mean? So I don't like it. So I don't know if it was where this ugly building is now or the one right here. But this is where the fire in 2000 happened. And a whole family was killed. And they never caught the person who did it. They never caught the Hasidic landowner that did it. Now, I don't know if he said it himself or he paid somebody to do it, but he never arrested him. And Giuliani was mayor at that time, and he didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, look at this fucking accident. Yeah, she was trying to turn. Yo, every time I shoot a video, something always happens. But this is like the worst corner right here. So, car accident just happened. See, shit's messed up. There was always traffic here, but the traffic got worse when a lot of Hasidic people started moving here. You know what I'm saying? It just got worse. That shit's crazy. Everybody's okay, thank God. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all got hit pretty bad. This is crazy. This shit, this shit is very common in this corner. You know what I mean? Like very common. I just don't want to put their face on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of disrespectful, but y'all saw the accent before they came out, so it's crazy. But yeah, this is where that fire happened. The whole family was killed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy. Yeah, I know. Smash right in the corner. Bueno. Ella están aquí. And it's gonna turn, and ella están coming from Bedford. And then same time. Se cogió.
Yeah, I see she passed the red light, right?
I wasn't able to no. I wasn't able to see because the light.
I see the light over there, green.
Oh, okay.
I see the green, the light.
Right.
I see, I hear like that.
And it's funny because
she going red.
Yeah. Yeah. Fire department came. Damn, I'm gonna have to end this video. See how long this video goes. I think it's only 50 minutes. Firefighters just making sure everybody's all right. The other truck. Yeah, this shit is crazy. It's crazy. And for both, it's like it's a lot of money that you have to pay. And people, let me tell you something. You know the woman is Dominican, the other woman is African American. You don't got a lot of money, and so this shit's gonna hurt their wallets, man. And the girl in the other car is crying. So I don't know why she's crying. I don't know if it's because it's not her car or because she just got it fixed already or just she had other problems, but it's fucked up. And when the first lady truck, when we both parked, the lady in the white car almost backed up into her again. Like she almost smashed into the girl again. So it's just crazy, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if my video goes. If it goes, then I'll just stop it. This shit is crazy. So you okay? Hey, you put it. You bring it there. It's crazy. Tell you the truth, I didn't even think the cars really hit that hard, but they did. last 50 minutes, but you're still going. It's crazy. Shit's crazy. But yeah, this is another problem with gentrification. Like, it's just overpopulation creates a lot of tension, a lot of traffic. You know what I mean? Like, I feel sorry for both of them. It's just whack. You know? I was gonna zigzag around, but I think I'm gonna end it here. So, peace, y'all.